In today's program of First Landowners, we are going to highlight some of the first pioneer families in the Yellowleaf Beat 8 of Shelby County, Alabama, and the contributions they made to the Chelsea we all know today. The Land Act of April 24, 1820, United States government law, made land more affordable, increasing population west and congressional states, Indian land in the Treaty of Fort Jackson. Back in the 1800s, before roads, families lived in log cabins in the wilderness. What would be a few minutes car drive for you and me from one end of Chelsea to another was an all-day or more horse ride for them. Separated into small areas where the churches, also as one-room schools, were the center of their lives. Neighbors became family and everyone took care of each other. The 1850 agriculture census shows farmings consist of horses, milch cows, oxen, other cattle, sheep, swine, wheat, Indian corn, oats, tobacco, cotton, wool, peas and beans, Irish potatoes, sweet potatoes, butter, cheese, hay, beeswax, and honey. In 1843, Tarleton Holcomb became Liberty Church's first pastor. On June 2, 1849, Lofton Quinn, a veteran of the War of 1812, deed to Liberty Baptist Church land for the original cemetery. Many of the first families are buried in the old Quinn burying ground of Highway 47 and Wisenhunt Road. Methodist services began in Yellowleaf in 1818. In 1837, Alfred Musgrove Lester and his wife's family, the Poindexters, came to Yellowleaf, South Carolina, settling in Section 15 of Township 20, South Range 1 West, which is now Highway 333 off Highway 47, where the Poindexter Vic Cemetery is located. Although the first Lester's Chapel log cabin church was built when the family arrived, Sarah Lester, widow of Alfred's son Burke, officially deeded land in Section 14 to the Board of Trustees on November 15, 1900. In 1850, Alfred Lester's brother-in-law, Benjamin Poindexter, was a justice of the peace. In 1860, son Calvin Lester was a schoolteacher. Many landowners sold timber to the East Saginaw Lumber Company. Lumber was cut down with hand saws pulled by oxen to the dinky line. It was this timber used to build Mount Calvary Church in 1901 on Highway 74. Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church and Cemetery was formally established in a log cabin on April 9, 1856, when James F. Farrell and George Moore deeded land for the church and cemetery. Willis Moore, grandson of George Moore, married Lillian Tuttle of Kentucky on February 5, 1921. Lily, a schoolteacher described by her family as a woman before her time, moved to her husband's home in the East Saginaw Mount Calvary area. Lillian Moore traveled horseback to teach at the old East Saginaw School and to rural areas to teach adults how to read. In 1939, Lillian Moore sat on a committee who awarded a scholarship fund for young women who wanted to enroll in college or a business course. On May 28, 1877, John Davis, a brick mason, left in his will 2 acres or less for the purpose of a church house known as the house in Section 7, Township 20, Range 1 West. This church house, known today as Pleasant Valley on Highway 36. Judd Kendrick, overseer of the East Saginaw Lumber Company and married to John Davis's daughter Carrie, lived in Section 6 just above Pleasant Valley. 2 sections over in Section 4, Cave Springs area, lived Judd's parents, Isham and Elmira Kendrick, next to Elmira's brother, Simpson Perry Gilbert, married to Isham's sister Judy. The Gilbert family were Yellowleaf Precinct 8 census takers. On November 20th, 1911, Luther Kendrick, son of Isham and Elmira, received $5 from the state of Alabama for a schoolhouse on Calera Road, now Highway 39, Township 20, Range 1 West, Section 4, which became Cave Springs School. Luther Kendrick was elected constable on August 4, 1884 to November 1885, then county commissioner on August 6, 1900. Luther Kendrick's cabin by the springs, located a quarter of a mile in the woods behind Cave Springs Church, were 5 springs of sulfur water. Pretty clear water could be found on his brother Elbert's property nearby. People from all around came to the Kendrick Brothers Springs to bathe, wash clothes, and collect buckets of water, penning the name Cave Springs. In 1927, smaller schools consolidated into Chelsea School. The school only went to the 9th grade. If you wanted to earn your diploma, you had to be bused to either Columbiana or Vincent. Unfortunately, not every student had the means to do so. In 1964, Levon Moore, owner of the Mountain View Lumber Company and son of Willis and schoolteacher Lillian Moore, mentioned earlier from the East Saginaw Mount Calvary area, ran for a seat on the Shelby County Board of Education. Chelsea citizens campaigned all over Shelby County to get Levon Moore elected. Levon won, and Chelsea was finally granted a high school, which is the present-day school building on Highway 39. From Highway 36 along Highway 11 to the old 280 area, we have James Kendrick, Henry Blackerby, and church elder Isaac L. Brazier. James Kendrick, brother of Isham Kendrick and Judy Kendrick Gilbert, mentioned earlier in the Cave Springs area, is my 3rd great-grandfather. Their mother, Frances Turner Kendrick, buried in Quinn Cemetery, was the daughter of Revolutionary War soldier Lewis Turner. Lewis Turner and family settled in Shelby County before the 1830 census. Henry Blackerby's brother Abner was the grandfather of Postmaster Albert Blackerby. Elder Isaac L. Brazier was a preacher at Liberty Church in 1858, later at Beulah, then Pleasant Grove. From Highway 280 back to Highway 47, we have more Kendrick siblings, the Adams and the Chessers. Annie Adams, wife of William Adams' son Clyde, was a longtime Chelsea schoolteacher. Members of the Chesser family were the owners of a general store, founder of Lloyd's Restaurant original Chelsea location, and a longtime Chelsea schoolteacher and wife of Chelsea's first mayor. Yellowleaf Beat 8 went through many changes through the Civil War, the first Chelsea train depot, the Depression, and World Wars. The one thing that has remained consistent is the promise made when they left everything and everyone they knew behind, travel west to their new land, was to take care of one another and your neighbor, something that very much lives on today.